This is where the fun begins.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's coffee chat, your favorite Star Wars show here. And I am so happy to be here with you. Sad to say that my co-host Dave cannot be with us once again. He is trying to get his sleep squared away. I guess insomnia is really a tough thing to work with. And so it's just me today. So I am happy to be here with you. And I know everybody's starting to jump on here. So give you guys a few minutes to get here and then we'll get started. So I do have David Chilson in here. Thank you so much for coming on. Good morning, everyone. Just had my coffee, Dunkin' hazelnut, using my Keurig machine. Awesome. That's good to hear. And good morning, everyone. And we are going over Rebellion comic number 11. And we're continuing on with Deena Shan's arc here, and she has been in the Rebellion comics that we were reviewing before we got into the blood ties with the Fets and that arc there. And so now we're returning back to this to finish off her arc, and I'm excited about that. But because it's just me today, no co-host today, I'm just going to go over part one so I can keep engaged with you guys in the chat. It's easier to do one if I'm solo. If I have my co-host here, then he can help interact with the chat while I go over the comic for you guys. And so it makes it a little bit more difficult to really be responsive on my own when it comes to reviewing these comics. And so I will just, like I said, we'll just go through part one. And we'll go with that. And Shane Nolan, thank you so much. So you guys are coming in, and what's in your mug today? What are you enjoying your beverage as you sit here and enjoy coffee chat with me? So, and then Jedi Padawan Trela, hello, good morning to you. I am glad you guys are here with me this morning for coffee chat. Yeah, no worries. I know it just makes it easier to have a co-host when we review these comics, because then one can, interact with the chat, and then while I go over the comics, so it'll be a little bit slow, and that's okay. Life happens, right? And we're still here, and I'm still bringing you the love of Star Wars pre-Disney, and that's the intention of my channel. And, so thank you guys so much. And usually I see my faithfuls in here, but they're not in here as well. I hope everything's all well with some of my faithfuls. And thank you again, Jedi Padawan Trailer, for being here. She is a channel member. And talking about channel members, I am putting together the new art that I will be using to for my little campaign I do for my Met channel members. So if you haven't had a chance to become a channel member, I recommend it. You guys will support me greatly and keep me getting art supplies and other Star Wars novels that I don't have. But this time the gratitude gift will be Boba Fett, and in the background will be Slave One. And so I'm currently designing that and putting that together and getting ready to paint that. So I'm excited. So stay tuned for that. And once that campaign begins, if you're a channel member, every live stream that you come on, your name will be entered to win a copy of that painting. And Lady T is here, another channel member. Hello. Morning, everyone. Here for a while. Was a long night. Yes, I can imagine. You work throughout the night and stuff. I know. And thank you for being here as well. So we are starting a little bit slow today, but that's okay. I am just happy that you guys are dropping in. And she is enjoying iced coffee here. Yum. I have just regular hot coffee with some coconut cream and a little bit of sugar just to sweeten it up a little bit to keep myself sweet here. And let's see here. No news I'm going to report. And any news that is coming out with Star Wars, I just don't feel like reporting right now that deals with the new stuff. However, so we'll just leave it at that. Let's see here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the comic up here. And so this is Deena Shan. And Stig and I, when we were talking back and forth about this, possibly she could be a descendant from the Shans from the Old Republic era. And that was never really fully confirmed, but it's, something that maybe we can just hold on to and say maybe it's a possibility kind of deal, and go from there. So she is one of those characters that are always questioning themselves, and has a dumb luck, I guess you can say. And that's how I see her character. She has that dumb luck. And hi there. Hope everyone is safe and nice. Thank you, Chaos Man, and I hope you're doing well. And A2D2. Hi everyone, and hello, and what's in your mug this morning? I have it be on a little, I got the little view of myself right there. I'm using one of the different little features on here. Yes, thanks, Chaos. Yes. And then so Deena Shan here, and her and Luke, this is the front cover, and it's rather nice. I think this comic series here for this last part of her arc, it's okay. It's okay. I think that they could have done better. I've seen better. So it's not bad, but it's not good. Some things are going to be bad, and I'll point that out, and some things will be good, and I'll point those out as well. And then we have Culture Casino. Hello, Culture Casino. How are you doing? Yeah, that art is not bad. There's been better, but it's not that bad. But there are some panels in here that I'm like, ooh, were you kind of rushing through that? So we'll go through that as well. It's fun. It's really fun. And this one again is called Small Victories Part 1. And it's funny that the cover art does have their conversation here. And there's Luke, and he says, "Are you all right, Deena?" And she goes, No, I'm not, Luke, but I'm ready for the mission. And like I said, she has that dumb luck. And then thank you, Abu Nas, for the $10 super chat. Popping in to see you start the show. Unfortunately, I'm in the office today, so I can't be here long. But as always, you are the gift that keeps on giving. Love your work on keeping the true lore alive. Thank you so much. I try to give you guys some stuff. Like I said, last time my campaign was giving you the true Boba Fett through Blood Ties, which is a wonderful arc if you never read that. And it really goes into how he can look fear in the eye without running, and then how the clones kind of impacted the Fett's and Jango's decision in a sense, and then also his family arc as well. If you didn't know, Boba Fett has a family. All right. And we have people pop in, and you guys are awesome talking with each other. I love it. I love this little coffee chat community. You guys are amazing. So again, this is Deena Shan. And like I said, we can only speculate that she is possibly a descendant of the Shans. She's got that dumb luck personality, not personality, but I guess you could say arc. She isn't that confident, but when she is, she is. So she's got that doubt. She has that self-doubt as well. So here we are, Rebel One, an Alliance flagship in hyperspace. So they're in hyperspace, as you can tell. And these are like thought bubbles here, I guess. It wasn't supposed to be like this. When she joined the Rebel Alliance, Deena Shan's expectations were modest. She only wanted to save the galaxy. Well, that's modest. That's a big expectation. I don't think that's modest myself. And prospects back home were few, and as most young people do, she hoped she was bound for greatness or greater purpose, that she was destined to have great things. So she has those big dreams. We see a lot of people with big dreams. That's not uncommon at all for them to have expectations, dreams, hopes, aspirations. And then Chaos Man, for those who don't know, in Sator, Thrawn Shan is not force sensitive despite his lineage and his mother being the Grand Master of the Jedi, and so he became a spy. Yep, you're right. And that's the thing. It's you can inherit the force, but it's not guaranteed at all. So it's still random. So you could still have two very strong force using parents, force users, and then you not be force user. And that also goes with Revan too, with his kid. His son wasn't a force user either. He wasn't force sensitive. But I think his grandkids, one of them, I believe, but we didn't really get too much into that because of the buyout. So there you go. So it's not, you're not destined to be a Force user, even if both of your parents are. And then Abunas says, yep, which I know Boba has a which I know Boba has a family. Yeah. Let's see here. Thank you. I am listening, lurking, working now. Yep. Thank you so much, you guys, for popping in and and supporting. I greatly appreciate it. And then, so, she's like, thinking about things here and thinking, I do have these, I know I'm destined for great things. I have these dreams, aspirations, or whatever you want to call them. And then she goes on to say, but that hasn't really worked out, has it? So she's going into her self-doubt, like, and all this stuff. Signing on with the Alliance was a means of escape from her homeworld. It was supposed to be a life of romantic adventure. So she's like, she's romanticizing the rebellion, basically. And you see people do that. And I have Dystopian here. Mr. Dystopian, hello. How are you doing? Good morning to you. And as you come in, what are you guys enjoying in your mugs? What's your beverage you're enjoying as you join? I have a nice hot cup of coffee, and I'm happy to be here with you guys. And as we go along, because I have the screen split here, so I could still see chat. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask them. I'm trying best to go back and forth between panels, and I will just be reviewing part 1. And next week, hopefully, Stig will be back with us, and then we'll be able to push on with a couple and go from there. And Mr. Dystopian has Dr. Pepper. Well, that sounds good. I know I'm in the morning here. I'm California time. So, which means if you are in the other time zones, like Mountain or what have you, you're either an hour or more ahead of me. So that will probably determine what you're drinking, right? Your beverage. Unless you're like me and I can have coffee throughout the day. All right. And then, so here we go. So she's remembering these flashbacks. And if you've been with us when we were reviewing these, Deena watched Han get swiped up by that tentacle monster guy and all that. And then, so we're going through just a flashback of what was going on since she joined the rebellion. So here we go. And it wasn't supposed to be so trying, surrounded by others for whom the term hero truly applies. Time and again, she'd measure herself against them and come up short every time. And then, so we have Han there wrapped up. Deena, what are you waiting for? Shoot it, And so she's kind of panicking, like, oh shit, what's going on? And then here we go again. So she says, yet still she pushed on. When one of their own mathematicians, Joran Sol, was captured, she volunteered to be part of the rescue mission. So she went with them to the base where they were stealing fuel from the Empire, as well as trying to saving Joran, and also rescuing the slaves that were held there, human slaves at that. And she goes on and developed feelings for an officer on the other side, putting the entire operation in jeopardy. Yep, and that's it. She fell for an officer, and that really made a really trying time. And here we go, rebels. Here, where's there one spy? There must be others. So he's holding the gun up to her, saying, if there's one spy, there's got to be more. No, you don't understand. And so, she fell in love with the officer and she betrayed him, well, because, she's from the rebellion. And let's see here. We have Robert DeCosta here. Hello. Hey, guys. Sup, OG? What's up? And then Abunas, I'm drinking a mango slushy now, and it's 12 p.m. Mango slushy. Okay. I hope it's not too sugary. Keep an eye on your sugar there, Abu. No, I'm just kidding. And then coffee for AD or A2D2. And then my Vato's in the house. What's up? Soul Assassin, good morning, y'all. Please hit the like button and share the stream out. Thank you so much, Vato. And let's see here. Lady T, good morning, or morning soul. So there you go. All right. Yeah. So she put herself in a lot of predicaments. She was hesitant. This is brand new to her. She started comparing herself to the heroes. I thinking that she doesn't amount to anything when she really should just be looking inwards. And I think that's a lesson for everybody. Stop comparing yourself to everyone, because you are not them, you are you, and you have your own unique gifts. And let's see here. Jorn Soul later turned out to be an Imperial plant. Yep, they brainwashed him, which is crazy to go through or go and see this happen. The Empire is no biz, right? They are friggin' beasts. They brainwashed him and basically just almost like took down home base, basically, and brainwashed and programmed to kill. He did much worse. Betrayed the Alliance hyperspace algorithms to the Empire. You know, he gave it to them. So their hyperspace algorithms he gave to, they brainwashed him. He gave them all their algorithms so that they could know where exactly their jumps would be when they flee. Soul helped Lord Vader trap and cripple the rebel fleet. Correct. And then she goes on to share, before fighting his conditioning and in his final moments, setting a random course in the ship's navicomputer and saving everyone on board. So he did have that moment. He fought against the programming and was able to, you know, do a new set of coordinates and get them to safety. So he kind of redeemed himself in a bit. And then he got killed. So that's it. I know, it's sad. And then hola vato, yes. And Albinus, I will keep your advice with my sugar in mind. Thanks for looking out for me. Yes. That's a lot of slushies are horrible with sugar. Horrible. Let's see here. And then yeah, so she is a unique character, like I said, self-doubt, reluctant, or what I would say, she's not so lucky, you know, and even in love, she's not so lucky. And but it's refreshing, I guess you can say. She is very attractive, though. She is very attractive for a character. And so she goes on to say, struggling to accept that her limits were met long before those of her comrades. Deena hung in as long as she could, but in her mind, even a murderous traitor has done more for the Alliance than she has. So she's like, again, doubting herself and all that, and thinking that she's not amounting to anything at all. And then so we have Kathy coming in, Diet Pepsi in my Star Wars cup. Awesome. My mug. And I'm not on screen today because I had a very slow morning, didn't get myself ready. And so I'm in pajamas. Yep, I'm still in pajamas. And so my mug today is just a floral mug with coffee. I had a Vader mug. I really loved it, and it got broke in the process of being washed. So I'm very sad about that. I'm about to find me another Vader mug. Yeah, rest in peace, Vader mug. Let's see here. And yeah, so thank you guys for dropping in and hanging out with me. Let's see. PJs for the win. Haha. Yeah, it is. Usually, I haven't been on camera much lately. Not that I don't want to. It's just that I've been so busy and coming from teaching yoga and being, working out, working around the house. It's like I just want to stay comfortable. And so I don't put on any makeup or anything like that. So I don't think you want to see me like just all plain faced and stuff like that. Not that it wouldn't look bad either. It's just that if I'm going to be presented on camera, I'd rather be looking a little nice and not too rugged. Smiling at hearing you still in pajamas. Yes, I am. I did the running around this morning, got home, and I'm like, fed myself, and I'm like, I'm staying like this. My hair is in a side bun to my side, all wrapped up, and that's it. And then Kathy, PGs are the best. Yes. And then last night I am going to be on Open Airlock's Policies EU podcast. It's an educational EU education type podcast. And we discussed Revenge of the Sith novelization and how it ties throughout the whole expanded universe in some way, shape, or form with other novels in the lore, including tying it to post Return of the Jedi lore. So that was such a fun conversation, and I will announce, and so will he, when it's up, so you guys can go listen to it. It was so fun. We could have been there for like 2 hours. It was like a little over an hour. We could have gone on for easily for 2 hours. And so I look forward to any future podcasts with him on his podcast. So stay tuned. May 5th in 1977 is the day that changed my life forever. I think it did with everyone. I was just a baby. Okay, so I'm sharing my age. I was just May. I wasn't born yet. But I was born that year. I was born in August. And so, but it did change everybody's life, and I'm happy to share a birth year with this franchise here. Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, I am older than what I look. Plain OG looks hotter than a lot of those chicks with full makeup on. Well, thank you for being so kind. I appreciate it. I was almost 15. Wow. So you got to really experience it as a teenager. Holy crap. That's amazing. That is amazing. I wish I could say that. I was born with the franchise, I guess you could say. And so yeah. And thank you again, Soul Assassin. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check out Open Airlock Policy's channel, please go check it out. Subscribe. He has some great content that will make you think. He has one wonderful video about canon. What is canon? So if you're confused about what is canon, then go watch that. Also, is Filoni right for the franchise? So I'm probably butchered that title. Many things, many videos to make you think. Go check it out. And then Abu Nas, you're still younger than me. Thank you. Yoga must really help people stay young. That and probably genetics, because I'm Native American and I'm Asian with a little bit of French and Spanish. So a little bit of that, a little bit of dash of French and Spanish. And so I am, I guess maybe the Asian genes. I don't know. But we'll see how long that lasts. And then Kathy, before it was called A New Hope. Yes, it was just Star Wars. And good morning, Dad Man Walking, another channel member in here. So I have a few channel members. Thank you guys for coming in and joining. And before I finish this comic here, we're going to move on. So as soon as I start the painting, I will announce when we're going to begin this. But I'm doing another painting campaign for a giveaway for my channel members. And again, it'll be Boba Fett. I've shared that before. Let me see if I took a picture and put it on my brand here of it. Okay, so here it is without the coloring I'm doing. I am going to fix the visor a little bit more because I know the top part is a little bit wider than I wanted. At first, I thought it was cool. Then I was like, maybe I should just make it a little bit more narrow. So I'll do that for the painting, but this is the idea sketch. So it's going to have Slave One in the background, probably on a landing platform, and with Boba Fett right here. And it's going to be a landscape picture, not a portrait. So it's not going to be facing up this way because I'm going to have Slave One behind him. So any channel members, and if you become a channel member, you'll be included in this. Any channel members who come and visit or come to the live streams when the campaign starts, your name will be entered for a chance to win a copy of this painting that's coming out. So that will all be announced once I begin to start painting this new project here. And my project basically, and Stig, go to sleep. I know, I told them that you're going through some sleeping issues. Just try to turned off the phone and get some rest, darling. Get some rest. Yeah. So once that begins, once the painting starts, once I get it down on the canvas, then I will announce the campaign. And if you haven't become a channel member, do it. Even if you become a channel member during the campaign and start coming to live streams, your name will be entered. This is a way of me giving back to you guys because I really don't do channel member videos just yet. I've done only a couple, and I apologize that to you guys. I'm so sorry. Eventually I want to start those as well, but this is just a way of giving back to you guys and for everything that you do. Subscribers, you guys are wonderful, and I want to do something special for you, everyone that that comes. So maybe I'll do a random drawing for everyone, and or I'll figure out something, a way to give back to just subscribers as well. But the channel members, from your guys' monthly donation, it helps keep me, you know, getting paint supplies. It helps me with current Star Wars stuff I don't have, like source material, the source books, and books that I still haven't gotten yet. And you guys just support the channel and keep the channel going. And thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, proud member here. Thank you so much. And maybe eventually you'll win something. And Kathy should have opened with hello there. Hello there. Yep, exactly. Yeah, and Stieg, you know, turn off the stuff and try to get some rest. I know insomnia is a bitch. I know. All right. And then so here we go. So she's very doubtful. Like I said, she's got that dumb luck, and she's very doubtful. She doesn't have very good self-esteem, basically. And here, this is okay, comic art. I just don't like the shading and stuff. I get that they're making it look like dim lights and stuff like that. So I'll give them that. I just think that it could have been done a lot better there. But other than that, this is okay art. It's very clear. Her face here looks too square for me right here. It could possibly be that she's leaning back or whatever, but you know, it's just a little bit of what I've noticed. It's not bad though. All right, so here's Luke behind her. It's true. You're really leaving us, aren't you? And she's like, Luke, and he goes on to say, is there anything I can say that would make you reconsider? If you're embarrassed about what happened between us, don't be. He kind of denied her. She was drunk and she was picking up on him. She was like wrapping herself literally around Luke and being very promiscuous. And he basically turned her down. Yep, Luke turned her down. And then she goes on to say, if my making a drunken pass at someone was enough to drive me away, I'd have left long time ago, believe me. So there you go. And then Kathy, lack of sleep here too, I'm sorry. And then but thanks, Luke, you're a sweet guy. And then Luke goes on to say, then why go? Don't understand. And she's just sitting there like just thinking right there. Again, not that confident in herself. She's got that dumb luck that probably feeds into her lack of confidence. And you know, so like she's a very unique character, very fun character. You know, so if you haven't had a chance to check out her comics, the comics that she's in, they are a very fun read. And then the ones that she's also involved in is when Luke also has a friend from Tatooine, Tank, who hung out with him in Biggs, and there's that story arc there, which is worth revisiting or visiting if you have not read that yet. And then so she says to Luke, do you get along with your dad? Oh, and then he goes, what? I don't know. I've never spoken to him. He's D. And then so he starts with a D. And right now, this is like just right after New Hope, like maybe 8 months after. So he thinks of him as dead. He doesn't know who his dad, or that his dad is Vader at this point. And then she goes on to say, mine always had big dreams of leaving home, but had to marry young when I came along. So he never did, but blame me for ruining his life. Wow. So that, there you go. So that's the source of her lack of confidence, is that how her father treated her. And then she goes on to say, he also never forgave me for not being a boy. And there you go. There you go. Let's see here. And then Abu Nas says, damn, he's a better Jedi than I am. I would have said, girl, let me help you to know the subtleties of the Force. You would have let her lean into all of that, wouldn't you, Abu? And then Zagrot315, howdy y'all, Irish breakfast tea in my mug. That sounds good. I've been drinking a lot more tea at night. I used to drink faithfully green tea at night, and green tea does help with your metabolism. It helps with antioxidants and helps you maintain weight and lose weight too. So that's a great tea to have. So that sounds really, really good. Right now it's coffee. And then she goes on to with these little blocks here. Thought it was for my lack of trying, because she's over here. There's her dad, and she's fixing a ship. And then he goes on to say, I don't know why you even bother. So, wow. So he was really awful to her. When it came time to follow my own dreams of seeing the galaxy instead of being happy for me, all he said was, you'll be back. Okay, so he's one of those fathers. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know if you guys ever experienced a father like that who was more pessimistic than optimistic to you, and had some doubts and stuff. But that does really crush confidence, self-confidence, because she's right there. She's expressing herself as a strong young woman here, and her dad is tearing her down. Yep, her dad is tearing her down. And Abu says, pretty much the dark side has more fun. I don't know. You could probably ask Luke about him and Mara Jade. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of fun, and they're both light side. And then everybody's agreeing with Abu Nas. It does. And yeah, so oh, that's funny. So yeah, so we're seeing this right here. So we know now exactly why she thinks, because before we got to this, she did have a lack of confidence. She did have this dumb luck, lack of confidence and all that. And now we know why. Now we have the story here. So Luke goes on to say, you can't hold yourself responsible for your father's shortcomings. Correct. Luke, this is the Luke we know. This is the Luke we know. And this is the original Luke. This is not the Jake Skywalker, because this is the advice that he should be given to Jake right here. You can't hold yourself responsible for your father's shortcomings. So there we go. Oh, I haven't. I stopped letting my dad ruin my life long time ago. Well, kind of. Her confidence is still lacking. Her self-esteem, confidence is still feeding off of those words he implanted inside her head. And she goes on, he was wrong about a lot, but he nailed one thing right on the head. Oh boy. So here we go. Let's see. She goes on to say, I'm not a hero. There we go. There it is. And I'm not cut for this. The betrayals and double-cross life on the front lines. And then he's like, Deena. So he's like questioning. He's like, you need to shut up. Look at his face. Again, not great art, so, but it's not the worst either. I've seen worse. And then he goes on to say, any of it sooner or later. Oh, she says this, I'm going to get someone killed and can't handle that. And then, yes, he goes, I forgot about Luke and Mara. Okay, now I'm back with the light side. And then Soul Assassin, my folks were like that. They worked a lot and wanted to rest on weekends instead of going places. Yeah. And then no Stig again. Did he sleep in? He's having some sleep issues. He can't get to sleep. So he's got some insomnia issues. So he's trying to resolve that right now. Hello, Matt Wilkins. And I had my interview with Tim for his EU podcast. So I can't wait for it to air. So stay tuned for that. Let's see here. And Shane. Oh, born in Dublin, but my folks. Oh, you guys, that's right. You guys are talking about locations. And Chaos Man 17. Even though I haven't watched Book of Boba, the choice he gives to Baby Yoda is against his character and what he experienced. There is a reason it's called A New Jedi Order. There's a reason why. So we did talk, like I said, we talked about Revenge of the Sith in the podcast. We talked about the novelization and everything wrapped around it, how it was made, all of this other stuff, fun, educational stuff regarding that novel. So again, I will share once the podcast link comes out. The very last chapter is called New Jedi Order. And that's where we have Yoda really sitting down and contemplating, going back, talking of his errors of not evolving the Jedi, and then saying that, the Skywalker twins, will be responsible for the new Jedi Order. And when you see Luke in the new lore, the Diz lore, or Diz canon, he has reverted back to the old Jedi way of teachings, which leads him to the Disney trilogy. So they're keeping that constant. So I will just say that right now, there's no evidence that they are retconning or they are getting rid of the Disney trilogy. And rightfully so. It's their lore. Why would they do that? And so they're keeping, even though their continuity still kind of is screwy, they're still keeping continuity to it. And they're keeping Luke pretty consistent. Sorry to say, you guys. So that's what I will say about that, and leave it at that. You guys form your own opinions on that. Jedi Padawan Trailer, thank you for coming in. She says, gotta go. Dog has to go get groomed. Yes, my dog has to go and get groomed here pretty soon as well. You have a great day. Thank you for popping in, and thank you for your continued support. And then let's see here. Kathy says, bye, Jedi Padawan Trailer. So everybody's, and then we have another channel member coming in, just checking in, leaving a like and saying hello there. Hello there. Thank you for coming in and supporting. And then can't wait till Kyle kills Grogu. We'll see what happens with that. All right, let's get back to the lore we love, the original lore. So here we go. And so we have them talking, and Deena tells Luke, it's okay, Luke. And then he goes on to say, no, it's not. You're not alone. These last few weeks have been trying for everyone. And then he goes on to say, the Empire hurt us. Spirits are broken, I know, but you have to push through it. We all do. And so we have that hope. Luke has always been that hope, right? He's always been the one of the giver of hope. And then she goes on to say, says the kid who's blew up the Death Star, it's different for you. Oh, wow. So now she's laying into him. No, not that. Again, people need to let that go. No one's keeping score. And he's right. It's not about keeping score. It's about working together and fighting for the freedom of the galaxy, right? And then she goes on to say, no, but whatever you have inside you that kept you cool in that trance, whatever it was that told you exactly when to drop the torpedo, I don't have it. And then she goes on to say, most of us don't. We're just trying to get through as best as we can. And she goes on to say, and I don't have anything left to give. I am sorry. And then she trips on him, I guess. I don't know what's going on that, but yeah. And then all of a sudden, oh, lo and behold. So they did, it looks like they the ship got hit or something like that, and it knocks them over. That's what it is. There we go. And then she goes, what was that? And he goes, I think we just fell out of hyperspace. Oh, so they got interdicted. There we go. They got interdicted. Let's see here. And we have Robert here. Deena is a strong female character that deals with an abusive father without hating all men around her. Legends was truly the best Star Wars. Great point. Great point. Because her father was abusive, verbally abusive to her, because she wasn't a boy. She wasn't going to amount to anything. I mean, just imagine how that could have played in the new lore. She could have been like, Luke, screw you. You're an asshole. You know, she could have been saying all kinds of crazy shit to him. But instead, you know, she recognizes the core of the problem, but she doesn't lump all men into that same core of the problem that she's seeing. Great point. Thank you so much for that. Who would have thought the great fight between a Shan and Skywalker would be a run argument about this? Sorry, I cracked up. Let me read that over. Who would have thought the great fight between a Shan and Skywalker would be a argument instead of force, right? Yeah, right. There we go. And I still think, and I that this is just my thought, and because we won't know anymore. Sad to say, but I think that she is a descendant. It's quite possible. Quite possible. All right. And then so here we are. So we have the ships here. They got pulled out of hyperspace. Look at that. And and it's way too early for us to be home yet. Dun dun dun. And then so here we go. Have been spotted. Not yet for now. Now we're blending in with the other traffic, but it's only a matter of time. So they're in some type of traffic here, and our hyperdrive, it's shot. Okay, so they had a failure, hyperdrive failure, total failure. Considering that the beating we took, we're lucky it lasted as long as it did. Correct. So the Empire really, the Imperial ships really, took it to the ship there, destroyed a lot of things. They went into hyperspace with the conditions they were in. So they were lucky. And she goes on to say that, yeah, lucky. Well, we can't just sit here waiting for the Empire to find us wherever here is. And then so that guy, and I forgot his name, and he's kind of freaky to me in the way back on her shoulder behind her, says, Your Highness, may I show you something? And so I forgot to read the panel on the bottom there. Oh, wait, no, I did. I read it. Okay. And then he goes on to say, I don't like this little guy here. He looks like a half human, half Yoda person. Let's see here. We've been jumping randomly through hyperspace since the Empire's ambush. We tweaked Jorn Soul's jump algorithm, so we're never quite sure where we'll end up. Correct. And jumping blindly is so dangerous. That's what they established in the lore. When you jump blindly, you can be pulled out by planets. You can be going through a sun, dying. You can wreck into a planet, or it could destroy you. It could destroy you. That is what's established in the original lore. It's very dangerous. You don't know what's going to happen. So, Abuna haha, excuse me. Abuna says, haha, half human, half Yoda person. He does. He looks like that. I don't like him. But I've triangulated our location. We're at Bannister Station. So they end up being at Bannister Station. So, and then he goes on to say, "You've got to be kidding me. I don't get it. What's Bannister?" Okay, so we're going to find out right now. And it goes on to say, it's the Imperial refueling station on the side of the mid-rim and an important supply hub that feeds the majority of this sector. So they're at a fueling station. That's why we see all kinds of ships there, all of that. And then there's that little thought bubble still. From here, they can expand out to the other Imperial bases further out in the galaxy. So they're at the refueling station, all of that. And then he goes on to say, but take out Bannister and you could break the Imperial's hold on these parts and give the rebellion an unregulated, much needed shortcut through enemy territory. Bam. There we go. So they jump into a station that if they take out, it'll help them out. And it'll also help morale. Imagine, it'll help morale because they just got defeated. They got defeated by the Empire. Jorn Soul, being brainwashed was the one that was able to give them all their coordinates and stuff like that. And so they suffered a lot of damage and all that. Now look at that. Look what they stumble on too. So we've wanted to hit this place for months, but we never thought there was a way to sneak up on it. And so Luke says, and now we've done it by accident. We'll never get another shot like this. We have to destroy it. And then destroy it with what? Because their ship is basically getting repaired from the damages it got from their ambush. And then he goes on to say the power of power of positive thinking, and that's Luke. He's got positive thinking. And even if we had a full crew on board, which we don't, we're one ship against an armada. And then Luke goes on to say, we've beaten bigger odds before. And then he goes on, with respect, kid, this ain't classed. Our guys don't work. Our hyperdrive's fried, and no one's waiting to pick us up at this time. It's impossible. And then there's that crazy Yoda human dude again. Impossible, yes, but only if escape is made part of the plan. However, if you accept that this will be a one-way journey, just a few detonators placed by hand on a few carefully chosen fuel tanks would inflict as much damage as an airstrike. So there we go. And then let's see here. Fook Norris is here turning in front work or from work, and that's what I'm guessing you're saying. And then hello there. Hello, Callum Cannon. How are you doing? Thank you guys for dropping in and joining. And we are now, so they, by mistake, a lucky one, the very ship, the very fueling station that they wanted to hit, that would probably, put a huge sore in the Empire's behind and impact them, they stumble upon. But their ship is still being repaired. They're only one. It's only home one. And so now they're trying to figure it out. Should we do this? We don't have backup. Our hyperdrive is gone, blah, blah, blah. What should we do with this? And then so the ugly Yoda-looking guy, human guy, says, chances are, and I forget his name, I had it written down, I should know this, but I really don't like him. Chances are the rest of the Alliance fleet is looking for us right now. And then we can't risk alerting them and bringing them here. It would be slaughter. We must decide. This target's worth the cost of our lives. So he goes on to say that. And then Chaos Man says, Disney Star Wars is afraid to let the Empire win. It makes them look weak. I also think Disney is bad in making villain protagonists. I don't want to imagine what they would do if they made Sith hero. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I think that they would fail on that. Really, I do. Their antagonists, like even with Kylo or Ben Solo, Kylo could have been something good. His character. This is not against, me talking about the character is not against Adam Driver. He is a really decent actor. If you get to see his recent films and stuff, he is an upcoming actor. But his character that they gave him, they could have done so much with it. They could have took it so many ways. They could have made it like in the beginning of The Force Awakens. That's the one that I watched before he took his helmet off. He was intimidating. He was. And I was like, okay, there's potential here. And then they took the potential away. Yeah, they try to make him be like Anakin Skywalker with this foolish little brat sense. And it just totally destroyed the character. So they're all thinking we have Leia, bad art here. Sorry, I don't like this. They could have done better. And then here too, her shadowing on her face and stuff right here. No, bad. I don't like it. This is a difficult situation, no question, she says. With our fleet as broken and scattered as it is now, the rebellion's future hangs on our next course of action. And then as important to the cause as we all are individually, the rebellion is bigger than any of us. We must do whatever it takes to ensure its survival no matter the cost. And right now, our fleet, our friends are being hunted down and destroyed by the Imperial Navy. And then fate, our fortune has brought us here and given us an opportunity. If, as Basso, his name is Basso, suggests, destroying this station can create a safe haven for the Alliance and allow it to regroup. I don't see how we can pass that up just to save our own lives. And then the remaining civilians on board will abandon ship. Whether you go with them is up to you. And then Deena Shan goes, this can't be happening. And then Leia goes on, but I'm making a stand here. Let's hit the Empire where it hurts. So there we go. So Leia's making her stand right there. She's like, I think we should do this. And then we'll catch the rest on playback. All right, you have a good day. And then I think the Clone Wars and Legacy comics have the best art. Yes, the Rebellion comics and the Legacy. Yes, I agree. And then let's see here. And everybody's chatting with each other. All right. So let's get back to the comic. And so a plan was made. The princess and her friends would execute a stealth assault on Bannister Station, while the few crew members still on board would abandon ship in whatever remaining craft would carry them, putting Deena Shan once again at a crossroads. Does she do as logic dictates and jump at the chance to finally escape to safer surroundings? Or does she follow her heart into what will surely be certain death? Dun, dun, dun. And there we go. So she's at that pivotal moment. Again, like I said, her father didn't really help her self-esteem. She doesn't really know her greatness because of her father, because of what he told her. And so she's at that crossroad because she's in such a negative state about who she is, what she can do, that she doesn't see the bigger picture, that even her contribution, maybe as little or big as it is, can help. And then so she's up there and Luke's climbing into, looks like the X-Wing or something, or somewhere. And she goes, got room for one more? And he's like, of course. And then once you're clear, we'll draw the Empire's attention to us. And then that guy, he says, they're sure to notice the prize in their midst and send an escort to greet us. Yeah, that's, you're being modest about that. And when they do, Rebel One will self-destruct and take whatever Imperial ships are in proximity with us. And then Leia says, you don't have to do this. There's room for you and your men aboard this limpet. And then he goes on to say, I'm afraid you must stay. If the Empire detects no life signs aboard this vessel, they will suspect sabotage and immediately go on high alert. He's right. He's right about that. And then, thank you for coming in, the son of Jor-El. How are you doing? Yo, what's up? Glad you're joining us. And those who are joining us, please hit the like button, share that we're live. And also, what beverage are you enjoying today as you come into coffee chat with us? And then there we go. That freak is the offspring between the mechanic lady and the Jawa from Mandalorian sources. That's hilarious. That's what they look like, huh? Oh my God. The soul assassin for the win. And there we go. And so we go on to say, our role is vital to the success of the mission. Our lives are not wasted. All right. So they're going down like heroes. This is not a Haldo maneuver too, so we're not going there. And then so she kisses him on the forehead and says, goodbye, Tungo Lee. And then she says, we won't forget what you've done. That's why we don't see him anymore. They sacrifice themselves for a good cause. And let's go on here. So I pray that you'll live long enough to keep that promise, princess. And then Tungo Lee's sacrifice looms large in Deena's mind. If put to it, will she be able to do the same? So again, she's comparing. She's not realizing that his journey is not her journey. Her journey is set before her and what she's got to do. And she's not recognizing that. And then we have someone saying, Deena, and it's Luke right there. You okay? If you want to back out, it's not too late. And she's like, no, thanks. I'm fine. Just dandy. So she's fine, just dandy. Let's see here. And then Ronan Blade says, Disney has no real great script writers. I mean, Jon Favreau came off the street and they allowed his ideas for The Mandalorian. He is possibly the best writer at Lucasfilm next to Filoni. Not good. And the thing is that the same with The Mandalorian. And the same with the Book of Boba Fett. They had random, I mean, there's a few of them, and you would think that they would have worked together for a better synergy flow of the movies or the shows, but it didn't happen that way. You could tell between episodes that the writers and directors changed, and you're not supposed to. That's the magic of that. Like even with like the original trilogy, it still felt like one coherent story between the three movies. You didn't know that there was a different director. Yeah, maybe because Luke or George Lucas was in charge, and he had his ultimate say with everything that went down into the film and the finalization of it. But it needs to feel like one coherent story that everybody's in synergy with each other, basically, that everybody and that they're collaborating and talking with each other and stuff. It doesn't feel that way. It feels very out of place. It feels like disjointed to me from what I've seen. All right, let's still go back to the comic here. Let's see here. And even with the novels that are in the EU, yeah, you're going to tell what writer, especially if you know the writers and their styles and their feel, you could tell that they may have wrote the stories. Okay, for a great example, New Jedi Order, for example. You could tell what writer wrote what and stuff, but there's some, mostly, I'm not saying all of them, it kind of like it blends in, there's synergy between them. There's continued story and there's synergy between them. So that's another example. And then who we have coming in, their nerd Poriel life form. Hi, O.G.Starwars. Hello, what's up? How are you doing? And what are you enjoying? What beverage? What's in your mug? Let me know. And thank you for joining. And let's go on here. So Bannister Station. So they're at the Bannister Station. I don't care if the order came from the Empire himself. You tell Imperial Center that we're running at capacity here. If filling those sectors with more capital ships is so important, then build more refineries on this godforsaken rock. And then so the comm goes off. They're not going to like this, Devox. He goes, I'm not paid enough to care what they like. So they're having like this little back and forth here. You should come see this. And then so he goes on to say, we caught a freight in the civilian queue using a false shield or false field registration code, falsified. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Code. That's not uncommon out here. But something didn't feel right about it, so I ran a check. There you go. And then I'm reviewing Shadows of the Empire. Just downloaded the comic. Awesome. I can't, you need to share your review with me and what you liked about it. There's so many of them. It's a great little multi-media project, so enjoy. And then so they are now catching whim of Home One. They have a falsified registration code. And he's like, I have a bad feeling about this. And so he checked it out. And then he goes on to say, if it's one of the Alliance's flagships we were warned about, orders are to preserve and detain. And then he goes on to say, I've heard the rebels were desperate, but did they really think we wouldn't notice them sliding in to refuel their ships? And then so he goes on to say, remember maybe they counted on us catching them. Open a comm channel. And then so they open up the comm channel. He's like, this is Commander Devox of Bannister Station. Remove your ship from the queue and prepare to be boarded for inspection. And then they go, hey, whoa, hold on. If you don't want us in your pumps, will gladly move on and find another station. And then he goes on to say, there are no other stations out here. Move your vessel out of line now. And he goes on to say, you must have us mixed up with someone else. We're just a survey crew on our way out to the Nelvana gas cluster looking for work. And so that's him telling them. And so he goes on to say, we ain't got nothing worth inspecting. And then he goes on, then you have nothing to hide either. Bring them in. So they're calling the bluff. And then, so we have Sukori here. Hail, Laura. Hello, how are you doing? And so everybody's, coming in and enjoying this, sliding into our DMs. I don't know what that's about. And then, so yes, subscribe to Nordporial. Thank you so much. All right. And let's get back to here. So they're calling the rebellion's bluff right here. And so here we go. And then he goes, hey there, hey, they come, or here they come. See, I told you I don't have my glasses on. I need to put my glasses on when I read this shit, Sorry about that, you guys. And then, good, move us into open space away from the other civilian ships. Are you reading this, Leia? And so there we go. And then loud and clear. We're near the planet's surface now, just waiting for our opening. And then he goes about to get it. They've taken the bait. So little do they know, the Empire knows that they are the ones that's getting baited. So, and I thank you so much, Kathy, for becoming a channel member. Thank you so much for the support. I greatly appreciate it. Just by being a subscribe member is a subscriber of the channel is great. But thank you again for taking time to invest in this channel. And I can't wait to start seeing you coming in, and maybe when you'll earn a painting, one of the paintings. I'm not turning on my camera to show other paintings right now. Sorry. But I do offer incentives like that for you guys to earn a free copy of some of my paintings as well. I have a series going on, which is basically the character with their home planet. Boba Fett, though, you could say Camino is his home planet. You could say Mandalorian or Conquer Dawn, but his home is Slave One. And so I'm using Slave One. And then Nerdporial says, other than Rogue Squadron, I don't know much about the events between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Interesting. Yes, this is maybe 8 months from Yavin. And so this is what's going on here. So it's still young, or it's still early after the Yavin battle. And so you're kind of getting that, they're being hunted down. They're at their bare minimal. They got struck hard because one of their people got captured and, tortured, brainwashed. And that really did bad for them as well. So we're seeing struggles. We're seeing the Empire basically having some wins against the rebellion. And I think that's smart of them to show that. Thank you. Thank you again. And you see the wins and losses on both sides. And I think that's greatly done. I really like that. Instead of like some of the Rebel series, cartoon series, you don't really see that. And I think that's poorly done on Disney Star Wars' part. You should be able to see both success and defeats on both sides. All right. So, frigate, lower your shields. So they're now telling the frigate to lower the shields. Start overloading the engines. Repeat, frigate, power down. They're going to run. We're going to lose them. No, we're not. So they're on the bridge watching everything go down. Pilot, can you disable their engines from the outside? And then affirmative, Control. They're moving to attack position. Steady. And then so they're starting to shoot at the ship here. And he says, now. And there we go. So it all explodes. They give their life. They take some ships down with them, which was what they wanted. And so far, so good. Successful planning here. We'll see what happens here as we go further on. I'm not going to give out anything just yet. And there's Luke right there, and he that's it, Luke, go now. So they have their suits on. They're in space, it looks like. And so there we go. So they have to be suited up. Look at Luke is a budding Jedi, and he still needs his suit on in space. And so there they go. So they're powering their way towards, oh my God, my voice. La da 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 da. Let's see here. Let's see here. That explosion could be the background for the Princess Leia painting too. Too soon? No, I will not do the explosion like that. If I do Leia's picture, if I do a painting of Leia, I could even do Polis Massa with Luke and Leia with Polis Massa on the background. That's not necessarily their home planet. It's a asteroid facility, but and it's another concept to think about because no one really associates Polis Massa with their birth or anything like that other than knowing that's where they're born. But I have an idea for Luke and Anakin with some kind of Tatooine background. So I have to play around with the ideas. But for Leia, I would still put Alderaan, but not exploding. Not exploding. Such a mean-hearted vato there. Look at that. All right. So they're making their way towards the station. Okay, we split up from here. Luke, you and Deena locate and disable the station's cooling and fire retardant systems. Once the fuel tanks go, we can let the Empire put out the fires. Basso, you and your crew knock out the station's communications array. And so they're giving their orders here right now. And find us a way off this place if possible. Escape is unlikely, but better to at least try for it. And they're like, copy. So they're going in knowing that they may not come out again. And so there's that. But we know that our heroes have to because, we have Empire. This is like a year. There's a 1 year gap between Empire and Star Wars, A New Hope. All right, so Abel and I will infiltrate and destroy the fuel dump. And then it won't take much to ignite one tank and the rest will follow. Yeah, because they're dealing with fuel. Yeah, we don't see much fuel stuff in the original lore, but Disney sure just made a whole plot out of it. So that's kind of weird. And let's see here. The Vong War is the biggest example of the bad guys winning a lot, and then when the heroes win, it's usually a great cost and considered a Pyrrhic victory. Yes, I agree. Let's see here. Looks like we have an Empire fan. Yep. And then read the Yu Zhong Vong series, among others, in the EU. Yes, that is one of my favorite series. I rather like it. I like because we don't have the same villains. We do still have the Imperial Remnant, but now they are also the Vong's victims as well. And, so everything tilts and switches into something completely different and gives a new struggle in the lore. And that's why I like it. And it's very dark. It's very, very dark and great stories. So, and let's go on here. So if any of you are caught or compromised, try to inflict as much damage as you can. Go down fighting. And then so that's the orders here as well. So they're just, casually, they're just kicking back in their quarters here. And we found them, sir. What are your orders? And then you were right. We are being infiltrated, of course. And then he goes on to say, and he looks like he's confident about everything right there. He's just like kicking back like, oh, we got this. Sergeants, have your men hang back. I want to see how far those rebels think they can take this. Okay, so now he's like, I'm like a cat playing with my toy. He's got the mouse and he's batting around with it. He's playing with it, but he doesn't want to exactly kill it yet. So he's just playing right now. When I give the order, round up anyone matching the description of Skywalker and Senator Organa. And then we have the little thought bubble, or we have this little bubble thing. Everyone else is expandable. So, okay, so the two main people, Skywalker and Organa, and that's it. That's it. That's all they need. And so that is part 1. And I'm not going to do part 2 on my own here. So hopefully next week we'll have Stig back with this co-host here, and we'll do part 2 and 3 and enjoy that. But you could see that they're still infiltrating in the station here. A little bit of a New Hope vibes here, if you want to say that. So if you guys have any questions pertaining to this or just questions to me, go ahead. I will. We can kick back a little bit and chat here. What do you guys think about the comics so far? And what do you think about Deena Shan? Let me know. Let me know here. Let's see here. Thanks, Laura. Thank you so much. We're not quite done yet. So if you have any questions or if you want to, give your input about what you're learning here in this comic or have any questions, share with me here. And please hit the like button and share and subscribe if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate that. And become a member if you can afford it. Again, no pressure. Let's see. Do you plan on doing the Old Republic comics? Yes, we did have some. Well, yeah, we eventually will. After the series here, I don't know if we're going to push forward all the way towards Legacy or if we're going to go back to the Old Republic. I'm not sure yet. So we'll announce it because I did bounce back to Boba Fett it was still during the dark times near the OT era with Blood Ties. And that was fun. So yes, I plan on doing that. And then Deena looks like a lot like Cade Skywalker's mother. She does. She does have that look, that vibe of that. I've noticed that too. And she, I wouldn't say she's a spy, maybe so, but she is an agent, I guess you can say, because she is obviously with Luke and Leia and them doing this, infiltrating this station here. But I don't think that it's even linked. I wouldn't know if she's even Cade's mom is a descendant to her. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities. But the confidence, the personalities is night and day. Cade Skywalker's mom, she is a friggin' badass. And she's like, she will do anything she needs to do. She doesn't lack confidence whatsoever. I like the art. I'm not familiar with the story. Awesome. Yeah, this is Rebellion. I think this is, let me go ahead and look it up, 2011.
Whatsoever. I like the art. I'm not familiar with this.
Okay, so that was crazy. I go to another screen and my it pops up in regular YouTube. Dun, dun, dun. There you go. Sorry about that. Blood Ties Coffee Chat. Thank you so much. And then it says, I'm currently reading The Heart of the Jedi. You and Stig both. Stig's read it. I read through a couple chapters. I haven't sat down to fully finish it. It's a good story. Stig pointed out a continuity error in there, but again, it was a story that wasn't that was canceled. So Small Victories. Star Wars comic. Okay, so let me see. I'm pretty sure it's around 2011, 2013. Let's pull it up here. What is the date for this? Yeah, so this is 9 months after the Battle of Yavin. And again, the writer is Jeremy Barlow. The pencilers is Colin Wilson. Inkers, Colin Wilson. So he did both. And colorist is Will Glass. And cover artist Colin Wilson and Ryan Sook. Editors Randy Stradley, Dave Marshall, and Freddie Linz. And let's see here. This comic came out. Why am I not seeing the time? It usually has the year that it comes out. Oh, it's not showing me. Well, then, it says this is the third arc in the Star Wars Rebellion series of comics. But what? Let me go back and see the year. Let's see here. Maybe I have to go back to My Brother, My Enemy, which I think is a 2012 one, I think. But yeah, they're all part of so just a little history here for you guys. So if you're interested in this, if you can find the individual comics without having to buy the collectors, the collection ones, that'll be great without the legends. But if you can't, you could possibly find it in the collectors one. Let's see here. Maybe this will tell me the date. No. Okay. All right. But so publication date for the beginning of the series was 2006. So there you go. So it's still kind of early pre-buyout kind of deal. Let's see here. Has anybody else popped in here? All right. Yeah. So any other questions you guys have for me? It doesn't have to pertain to this comic at all. It could be something else. So you guys in the chat, what is the current, what is your favorite novel then? EU novel. I'm asking you guys a question now. What is your favorite EU novel? And if you want to go into series, that's okay. We already talked about the new Jedi Order, but and those of you guys who like the new Jedi Order, what is your favorite novel out of that? I know it's 19 books to choose from, and there's interesting arcs in there. What is your favorite novel in the EU? So go ahead and start sharing, you guys. Don't be shy. Don't be shy with me. Come on, let's create a conversation here. All right. So let's see here. Small Victories about, between 2006 and 2011, something like that. All right. And everything's running slow here. Interesting question. Darth Plagueis, maybe. Okay. All right. Darth Plagueis. And that's usually a fan favorite because it goes into the rule of two. And Darth Plagueis is like, I guess you could say, Sith lineage, I guess you could say, and who, where he comes from, all the way to Palpatine, what happens between that. Let's see here. Lots of good novels, right? It's hard to decide. I know, I'm sorry. It's hard to decide. So maybe out of your favorite era, pick a favorite novel, because I know that every era you might have a favorite novel. So pick your most favorite one. Like if I was to say Legacy of the Force, Infernal is my favorite. In fact, that's what, when I was talking with Open Airlock Policy, he is now reading Inferno in the Legacy of the Force series. And I was like, damn, that's my favorite one. So I decided to re-listen to it on Audible because I like it so much. All right. Let's see here. I know it's not EU, but I love Tarkin. Okay. That's the novel that was gonna be in the original lore. And then during the buyout arc time frame, they wanted Tarkin for their new lore. So the James Luceno, I think, is the one that wrote that one. Had to go in there and tweak things to fit their lore. So there was changes in that novel. So it may feel very EU-ish original lore, but there was changes in there to make it fit their lore. Chaos Man 17, Thrawn Trilogy, like to view them as one story. Well, the trilogy is one story, really. It's just in 3 parts. Yeah, let's see here. Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader, a great read after Return of the Jedi. Not Return of the Jedi, geez, Revenge of the Sith. Sorry about that. Yeah, a great read after that one. And it leads, Revenge of the Sith leads right into Dark Lord. Just like Labyrinth of Evil leads right into Revenge of the Sith. Yes, he did, Luceno. Yeah, he did have to change it. Tarkin and the Heir to the Jedi, a Luke-centric novel in first person, were repurposed for the Disney canon. Correct. I did review Heir to the Jedi because I thought it was something new that came out for original lore. And then I was like, wait a minute here. Because it has that feel, again, like Tarkin, it has that feel of original lore. But then there were some things that quite didn't fit. And I'm like, okay. And then so I looked into it. I'm like, oh, it was revamped to fit their lore. But what is crazy is Razor's Edge, which is a Leia-eccentric novel just about Leia, wasn't. It's still a part of the original lore. And that came out the same time as Heir to the Jedi. So it's quite interesting how they pick and choose which ones they were going to put into their lore and which one they were going to keep in original lore. So that's very interesting. Too many choices. I know. I put it out there. Shadows of the Empire and Thrawn Trilogy. Okay. And let's see, Heir to the Jedi is the only Disney canon book that has Luke feeling like Luke because of that. Correct. Even though there were some things you're like, kind of deal. It still felt a little off because they switched it around. a little bit. Dark, and Shane Nolan says Dark Lord, another James Luceno book. Right. So we have James Luceno and Matthew Stover collaborate and with George Lucas for the Dark Lord trilogy. That includes Labyrinth, Revenge of the Sith, and Dark Lord. And we talk about that in the EU podcast, and I can't wait for that to come out and for you guys to listen to it. Revenge of the Sith novelization is wonderful. That is my up in my top 2, believe it or not, because it's not just a movie novel. It's not just a movie novel. It is an EU novel. And then follow OG on Twitter. Thank you so much. Yes. So if you haven't followed me on Twitter, I do a lot of EU stuff there as well. I also compare and contrast between the new lore and the old lore there. I haven't done a compare and contrast video in quite some time. I've been working on Rogue One versus Dark Forces. I kind of put it down. Sorry about that. I need to finish it and get it published on my channel. Chaos Man 17, even though I haven't read them, the Revenge of the Sith novel and Traitors seems amazing read. Stover does an amazing job making connections between Anakin and Jason and the themes of fear and temptation. Correct. We didn't necessarily talk about Traitor when on the podcast, but we did go into how well Jason's arc has been linked to Anakin's from the novel of Revenge of the Sith onward. Like, especially you guys, some of you guys, I know Darkness Trilogy is one of them that fans, there's a split on if they like it or not. I like it because it shows exactly that. Jason, you see glimpses of him thinking and acting and feeling just like his grandfather. We start seeing that turn. And it's a great, and they also reference Revenge of the Sith. And so it's a wonderful tie-in to all of that. Bloodlines gets into Boba's head with family and mirror to give. Yeah, that's a good one too. And Karen Travis does it beautifully. The Han Solo books are good. Jedi Academy, awesome. Jedi Academy is a really fun one as well. Really fun. Soul Assassin, please hit the like button and become a channel member. Thank you so much. So if anybody else wants to share any, and if there's like, if someone already chose Heir to the Empire, like, I'm sorry, the obvious ones, because those are the ones that made the EU a part of the saga. And when they decided to make the EU fully canon, I guess you can say, if there's any other novels besides that you really, really like, that's maybe up in your top 5, go ahead and share. Like I said, Inferno's one of my most favorite ones. And then let's see here. New Jedi Order is so hard to pick and decide. Star by Star is one of them. And I really haven't thought about one in Fate of the Jedi. That one's a hard one. I think maybe the first one, when we see Luke having to go into exile and his Jedi Order, his new Jedi Order, really paying homage to his successfully rebuilding the Jedi. And that is so emotional there. That's a good one as well. Let's see here. Have to go. Be safe. Yes, thank you so much, Chaos Man. And I think we're going to go ahead and start concluding this coffee chat. We've been together for almost an hour and a half, and I appreciate every single one of you. So if you guys want to share one more, like if you haven't had a chance to share your favorite novel, or maybe even a novel you started off with in your EU journey, go ahead, share it. Share it before we conclude here. My first novel I read was Truce at Bakura. And Mr. Dystopian says, what about The Last Jedi? Not the trash movie, but the book with Michael Reeves and Maya Catherine. Yeah, that's a fun read as well. It's funny, like when The Last Jedi first came out as a movie, I went ahead and said, this is The Last Jedi I like. And I shared that novel on Twitter. People don't realize that we already had The Last Jedi. It had nothing to do with Luke, though. And it was an interesting read. So I suggest that, and if you guys haven't started reading in the EU, are still becoming familiar with it, there's many of us like me that you can ask, where can I start at? I will ask you, well, what do you like? What's your favorite era? Do you like the Empire? Do you like the New Rebellion? Are you more into like the Old Republic? And then I can help you from there. Let's see here. Shay Nolan says, first Star Wars novelization and the truce at Bakura. Ah, there you go. Awesome. All right, you guys. So thank you again. Thank you for Kathy for becoming a new channel member. I will announce when I start the new campaign for channel members to have a chance to earn a copy of Boba Fett, the Boba Fett painting. I haven't decided what I should title it. It's not going to be Boba Fett and Slave One. I need a clever title. So if you guys have any clever titles for me, share it with me on Twitter. I'm open for suggestions. I may not use them, but at least that gives me ideas. Let's see here. And Ronan Blade says, the first book after Star Wars, Splinter of the Minds. Yes. And Kathy, Truce at Bakura was great. Yeah, so that was fun to read how Luke was feeling right after the events and how his body was coping with that Force lightning and stuff. Very, very well done. Take care. More good stuff. Yes. And thank you guys again. So stay tuned for when I announce about that new campaign. And again, if you become a channel member, thank you. And if you can't, then that's fine. Your support through your subscription to my channel, thank you. You guys help me keep this going, and I appreciate all of you guys. And so next week, Copy Chat will continue on with Deena Shan's arc in this, what's going on with them at the station there and what happens. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully my co-host will be back and feeling better, caught up on his sleep and all that. Insomnia can really wreak havoc on the mind, the body. And so hopefully he overcomes that and gets well rested. And I will talk to you guys later. So you guys have a good day, and may the Force be with you.